Here's the feedback for Robert Bainbridge for part 1 of the animation simulation module. Okay, Robert, let's have a look through your submission points here. We'll start off with the zombie character, and I just wanted to remind you at this point that the assignment brief did ask very specifically for a range of motion test animation and also for a complete animation of your own choosing to test your rig. Now it looks to me like you've only submitted the range of motion, so we'll have to mark it based on that. So it's not a complete submission at this point. So let's have a look. So this is useful, but I mean, I think, if you consider your framing of this, how exactly am I supposed to see what the foot's doing there? It's incredibly difficult to do. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, that's slightly better. Well, where's the camera going? I mean, it's better in terms of this, but where's the camera? Camera's just wandered off. So let's just have some slightly better camera control on this. Looking at this, it's okay, but there's quite a lot of crushing of the mesh. There's a lot of intersection there, so I'd expected better there. Continue through, but again, a lot of crushing of the mesh, very little fall off. There's no blend between weights, so this is evident there as well. Again, the blend brush would have fixed that. In class, we looked at a lot of techniques beyond the stuff that's even in the training videos. It's a shame that, in my opinion, you didn't really engage with those classes fully, because I think you'd have been far better off if you had done it. Again, there's a lot of ripping and tearing of the mesh going on here. There's no sort of refinement or polish to this, which is very evident here as well. Okay, a lot of pulling of the mesh there. It's pretty poorly skinned, that element. Okay. Now, unfortunately, at this point, we seem to have missed out the wrist and also the elbow. So there's no evidence of those things being rigged. Fingers look okay. You see too much pulling of those, and there's absolutely no evidence of the head and neck being rigged. So you've missed out quite a lot of stuff there, Robert, which is a shame, because there was ample time to complete this assignment. Ample time. Okay, so there's no further animation of the zombie, which may have shown me how well you'd rig those bits that look like they missed out in the range of motion. So we'll move on. We'll go to the soft body. So it looks like you've done the dinosaur one. So we'll work with that. That's pretty good, that tail. Don't mind that at all. That's good. Yeah, I mean, according to this, there's no evidence of any neck flex at all. I mean, I think your problem is that each of your animations of the neck, the animations, I mean, the timeline finishes exactly as the neck stops moving. Well, the nature of the fact of the nature of how flex works is that you need to give it time to flex, and you haven't. So you can see for the tail it works. For the neck, you're cutting away before you've even got a chance to see the flex. So again, there's no evidence of it. The only thing I can kind of see is perhaps this bit where you can see there's a little bit of overlap. The tail, however, I think is okay, reasonably successful. It looks to me like you've got some flex right the way along. I think if we're being anatomically correct, I'd expect there to be more flex here and gradually less and less up here. But that's reasonably successful, but not the neck. I don't see any evidence of the neck being done there. Okay, let's have a look at the gorilla morph. So again, with this, you've not submitted a complete set of files for this. There should be a morph animation, which I'm guessing that's what that is. There should be a screen capture of you working through all your morph target setups. That is to look at the slider-based system. There should be also a bone rig of the same character, facial bone rig animation, and also a screen capture for that as well. So again, an incomplete submission. Okay, I mean, to be honest, these morph targets for the most part are just anatomically incorrect for this kind of character. I mean, that not so bad. I mean, there's a little bit of movement of the eye sockets, which is obviously not possible because you can't move your eye sockets. You move these muscles around them. That is just, well, pretty ridiculous. I mean, that is not anatomically possible. So it looks to me like there's not enough reference gone into that. So I mean, it functions technically, it works, but I think creatively and aesthetically, it's just not appropriate to that. So let's have a look at your PDF document, Robert. So let's have a look. So it looks like you've got a bit of an overview of the setup that you've used, and I have to say it does surprise me that you used the voxel solver, because some of the stuff that you've got in that zombie character does not look like it's been processed with the voxel solver, because it's quite rough around the edges. So there's some evidence here of some research and development, but I mean, I don't see much visual reference, because I mean, for example, that's just a picture of some dinosaur bones. I don't know what the relevance is of that. I mean, why do we see this image? That doesn't tell us anything about soft body dynamics. You should be looking at real world examples of loose skin, soft skin. People who've lost a lot of weight and are left with loose skin, for example. You see some dogs which have got kind of jowly necks and all that kind of stuff. Elephant skin. You could have been looking at any of those things. The gorilla stuff. I mean, yeah, you've got your morph targets here, but where's your visual reference? I mean, it doesn't surprise me that in here there's no real look at accurate face shapes, facial expressions for humans or for apes. He's an ape man, so you could have looked at both. It's just, this is what you decided to do, and you decided that's what pain, disgust, anger, and so on looks like. Well, some of them are successful. That's not bad. That's okay. Neutral, of course, works to some extent. These, but I mean, this kind of thing is ridiculous. It just doesn't work at all. So overall, disappointing, I have to say, mainly because you just haven't done everything you've been asked to do. There are parts of the submission missing, and as soon as you have parts missing, then you're going to be losing marks. Because if you don't submit a thing, you can't have a mark for it. And what there is there just looks like there's not enough work and effort gone into it. Certainly not enough refinement gone into it. So overall, I would say it's a disappointment.